Hey Aussie Gamers, welcome to episode 66 of the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that will not be made into a video game. I'm your host LewkOne, and joining me as usual is my good friend Thorncliff. How are you, mate?
I'm very good.
Wonderful. And also joining us, our other good friend, Red. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic, mate. Your intros get better and better. And I think you're going to need more than 8 and 16 bits to make me anyway, so...
The resolution hasn't come out yet.
That's question of the week. How many teraflops do we need to render Red? Alright, before we start, here's this week's show in preview. First off, we'll have Game Talk. After that, we'll go into some news. And for news, we have this week's news on Kanye West's video game. Yes, you heard it right. SharePlay trolling, Wii U sales figures, Sony's future business plan, some Blizzard news, new remastered title on the horizon, Twitch convention for the first time ever, and some stats for the game Evolve. After that, What's That Sound? And then we'll bring the show home for another week. Okay, so, Game Talk. Sean.
Yes?
I would like to hear from you first.
You'd like to hear from me. Well, I've hit 450 bounties now in Diablo 3. So I'm getting there. I have 50 to go to get my 500 trophy. So still plugging away at that. Just when I need a bit of a brain turn off game time, I shove it on and do a few bounties. So that's been happening. I've played some Titanfall again on the Xbox One.
Yep. So
really enjoying that. Just like it's like a team deathmatch one. Attrition. Yeah. So really cool. It's good fun. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm just really enjoying the game mechanics of it, like the jumping and running across the walls and being able to, as you're jumping through the air, you're aiming at people, especially with the assassin auto pistol. So that's really cool. I'm really enjoying that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually played that today with Oz Anarchy on the Xbox One today. Yeah, we played about 5 games or so of the attrition. I do enjoy the attrition maps and gameplay. It's really cool, yeah. Like I've said a million times, that game lends itself to people that aren't your typical Call of Duty experts that, you know, they want to get a bit of points on the scoreboard without necessarily being an ace. You can do it in that because of the minions and the CPU characters that are on the other team. You can take them out and get some good points for your team and actually contribute rather than just getting your ass handed to you by the opposition.
There's a big sale happening at the moment with the Sony PS store, so I bought Murdered Soul Suspect, so I'm yet to play that yet. So I've it's one of those ones where you go, you know what, $17, yeah, I'll give it a go. And
I have played it and I platinumed it, and I would say that $17 is worth it for the story because the story is really good. It's just everything else is worth it.
Yeah, the mechanics are terrible.
It's a horrible game, but it's a very good adventure, I guess. It's a good.
It had potential.
Well, it did. If it just had better gameplay mechanics, like the puzzly bits where you have to put things together and work out what happened, piece out what happened in the sort of crime scene. I mean, it was good, but it was just dumb easy. I think it needed to be a little bit trickier, and that's coming from me, a guy who can't stand games that are too hard. Like, I didn't like Tomb Raider for that reason, not the remake, the original ones. It was, just stupidly easy, and there was no real enemy base. There was only the one type of enemy that you killed by sneaking up behind using the one quick time event, and that's it. If they built on the combat a little bit more, it probably would have been a much better game, but like I said, the storyline is probably leaps and bounds above any other big blockbuster game. It's a really good story. Didn't see the ending coming.
So it's got a twist then.
It does, and it's not. For me personally, I haven't encountered a story like that before. It just caught me off guard. I thought it was really well done.
Nice. Well, I'm actually looking forward to it. So,
worst case scenario, man, you're only paying $1 per minute of gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's not saying that Murdered Soul Suspect has got a short campaign. It's just that's all Sean will play of it.
Yes.
I must add, Weeksy picked it up also. he was on the fence, so I pushed him over.
Into the alligators.
Yeah.
Hand of Fate. So this game's coming out this week on across the board, so PC, Xbox One, and PS4. I played a bit of it, probably one or two of the actual games, and you played this as well, Luke?
I did.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to put it out the way that I see it. It's like a deck-building dungeon crawler.
Nah.
No?
Nah. I wouldn't. The dungeon crawler part I think's wrong.
Well, the combat base in it anyway, so...
I would call it like your deck building or your card game crossed with a real small scale arena fighter. Well, because the parts you're talking about, the action fighting-y parts, it's only a small arena. You're not going anywhere like in Diablo or whatever. You're not going through a level per se. You've just got this tiny little map that you fight however many people that you've dealt up.
Okay, well, will you tell me what you think of it and the overall what the game's about?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. I've never played a game like this before, and up until I played Hearthstone, I wasn't even interested in the slightest in card games. And I've tried my hand at since playing Hearthstone, I became a little bit interested in those card style games, and I tried my hand at games like Magic: The Gathering and some other sort of little lesser known indie games, and none of them took my interest. Hearthstone was the only one that I enjoyed playing, and I think it was because it was a very simplified version of what all of these card games strive to be, but with the complexity to still, soothe that itch that your hardcore card game players would really be after, because it can be complex. Now, with Hand of Fate, it takes that the Hearthstone card game, if you will, takes it a little bit further, I think, and a little bit different, whereas it's not, your set of cards versus... Yeah, it's not a battle. It's not your set of cards versus another set of cards. It's your set of cards, and they're face down, and you go across them in a linear fashion. Most of the time, there are sort of forks off. But imagine a set of cards laying down on the table, and the card on the far left is the beginning of your journey. And it's like a choose-your-own-adventure storyline using these cards that you get given and unlock. So you'll flip over the first card, and it might be you meet up with a person or whatever who will say to you, oh, how you going? Would you like a health potion or something like that? And then you can either offer them something in exchange, and that way you get things, and then you flip over the next card. And then the next card will say something like, you're walking across a bridge, and down below the bridge you see a weapon. Do you want to try and retrieve it? And you'll say yes or no. It's just on the same screen, you pick yes or no. You pick yes, it'll then give you 4 cards. It'll be success, success, failure, failure. And then it'll jumble up the cards. You pick one. If you get success, then you get the weapon. If you have failure, then you'll lose the weapon, or you might lose 5 health or something like that.
It has a very Dungeons and Dragons feel to it.
I've heard that about
it. The storytelling kind of thing, like you're walking along a path in the woods and you're confronted by 3 goblins. And
yeah, that's sort of how it works. I'd have to take your word for it on that matter, because I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. But that's kind of what it's like. And then it'll come up and it'll say you've been ambushed. It'll be an ambush card, and then you pick 2 cards from the monster pile. And it'll come up like 4 of bones or something like that. And that'll be 4 of the skeleton creatures. And then it'll transition from the little card table into a real-time battle arena that I was talking about. And it'll be you, and it'll be the 4 skeleton guys, and you'll fight them. And the controls are very similar to like a Batman Arkham series type controls, where you're pressing the buttons for an attack.
Dodge
and you got your dodge, your dive, counter, and things like that. And you just got to beat them, and you got to make sure that you keep some health, because then once you finish that, you'll get rewards and things like that. But then you go back to the card table, flip the next card, and your adventure continues. And it goes like that, and it starts off very easy. And people playing it might think, oh, this is just way too easy. It does get difficult, because I'm now into the second tier of, I can't remember how many there were now. There might be 10 or whatever. I'm into the second row, and it's starting to get a bit tricky. It's a marvellous game. It takes 2 very good game mechanics and pushes them together, and makes a very interesting new type of game that I don't know if it already exists out there in other games, but I've never seen it.
No, I've never seen it either, and that's why a big draw towards this game was that it was a mix of two, and like I didn't know what to expect at all when I first started. Well, what I was expecting was that it was going to be more of like when you go into the arena to deal damage to the people that were attacking you, you had to draw a card. Like you had a deck of cards which said, 5 damage or 3 poison over the next 2 turns or something like that. And that's what I thought that the mechanics were going to be like when you went in for the fighting, but it was totally different. And yeah, you actually got to control the characters whilst doing that, which I found it was good because it wasn't just a card game. It was telling you a story, and then you actually had to do something to win the battle. So yeah, that's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with it. Like yourself, I went in almost blind. I read a little bit about it and saw that it was a card game and an action-y game, but I couldn't really fathom what it meant by that. And yeah, in playing it, I was pleasantly surprised.
At the moment, it's out on PS4 and Xbox One. I think it's about $25, and it's $19.95 US on the Steam store at the moment. I really recommend, if you're interested in this kind of game, to pick it up. You'll be pleasantly surprised. So it's actually from Defiant Developments. They're an Australian-based game developer as well. So if you're looking at supporting Australian games, and this is one to do so.
Acialus wrote a review on it, which is up on our blog. Sean, you got the blog address handy?
Yes, it's www.aussiegamersexpress.blogspot.com.au.
So check that out. The link directly to the review is on the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page. You can have a look at that. But I think Acialus did a really good job in capturing the essence of what it is and explaining the game. Maybe even better than what we could do, but it's definitely worth playing. I think just to point out something that Acialus said, if you're like a hardcore like Magic player or something like that, the game might not be for you. And if you're a hardcore, say, dungeon crawler or whatever battle arena type games there are out there, it's probably not for you either. Because it's very... I don't want to insult the game by saying it's kind of simplistic on both of those ends to make a complex, different genre altogether. It takes a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B, and makes a pretty cool C.
They also, just on Defiant Developments as well, they've got a game out on like the iOS devices and Android as well. It's called Heroes Call. And I've been playing that this week as well, and it is very much like a Diablo for the iPad or for your Android devices and stuff like that. That's a really cool game as well if you just want to play that. That's a free-to-play, and I think there is microtransactions and stuff. I haven't needed them at all whilst playing it, but yeah, Heroes Call, that's another good one by Defiant Development. So
I'll give that a go. What else?
All right, the game that shall not be named, the League of Legends. I've after we had a discussion last week in regards to Heroes of the Storm and people being dicks on there. Basically, I kind of tweaked my interest in having a look at what it is. Basically, why is it that certain games like this attract dickheads? And I've got a few mates of mine that actually play a lot of it, and they've got like a ranked team and stuff like that that they've been playing with. And so I said to them, I want to learn how to play it because I try on my own and I've got no idea and I don't know what I'm doing. This is very complex. I don't understand it. So basically they took me in for a few games and we're just playing bot matches, so I haven't really gone into the other side where I'm playing against other real people as yet. But yeah, I just really want to. It's intriguing me as to what it is about this genre and why people get so fired up and so edgy while playing these games. I don't understand. So
I can probably offer something that I'm going to go with until somebody can prove me wrong, but I'm going to say it because the game, I think it's demographic leads towards the younger crowd. So people maybe early teens to under 10. I would dare say it's the keyboard warrior effect. They're still under the reign of their parents. Mum and dad say what to do. They don't have any power on anything other than their dog. When mum and dad's out, they can kick it and stuff like that. But then put them behind a keyboard and get them to be better at a game than you. You suck at this game. I'm now better than you. I now have the power. I'm going to treat you like a piece of shit and take my frustrations out on you. And I think it's all like a deep-seated psyche sort of thing. It's not probably something that they specifically do. I want to be an asshole to people, and that's all I want to do. I think it's just their outlet. I think that's how they're doing it. I think that might be the sort of psychology behind why younger gamers, not only younger gamers, but why specifically that it's the younger gamers that have got the potty mouths on your Call of Duty and on your League of Legends. It's just their outlet because, when mum and dad get home and kick them off the computer, they're doing what they're told,
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's really, I'm going with League of Legends at the moment with the whole MOBA side of things. I've been in discussions with the guys that are actually playing it and that, and they do come across it a lot of the time. But they said it is getting better with the reporting. If people be dicks on these lines, especially with League of Legends now with their whole anti-trolling things that they've got going on, every chat window and everything that you play in game, it's all recorded. And therefore, if you're a dick and constantly being a dick, then people will just report you and they'll bring up the chat of what you're doing and that, and then they just get rid of you. That's not to say that they don't just sign up a new account and are back on it the next day doing it, but it's the same as you say, Call of Duty is another big one, and that's one of the main reasons why I never played multiplayer on it. It's just because it's toxic. It's a toxic environment to play in, and yeah.
You just turn it off. Don't listen to them.
Yeah. And I suck at it.
You do.
So, yeah. The next one, let's talk about the Order 1886. So, I've done 12. Yeah, so I've done 12 chapters in it now. So there's 16 chapters out of the game. I've put in most of the time yesterday, which was Sunday, into playing this, and I was trying my hardest to get it finished by the time that the podcasts come, because I knew you were going to bag me out if I didn't have it done.
And you still haven't, so give me time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and yeah, got to about 11:30 last night. I'm like, I need to go to bed because I've got to be up early. So I think I'm just starting the 13th now. So I'm loving it. This game is absolutely phenomenal. Great story. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. The sign that this is a fantastic game and looks amazing is the point where it goes from a cutscene and you don't realise you have control of your character back again. Yeah, everything in it looks exactly the same. The cutscenes look exactly the same as the gameplay scenes.
It's a fine line between, is that really good game design or really bad game design?
I think it's awesome.
Well, if you're sitting there watching and you don't realise that it turns into, you're supposed to be controlling it, isn't that a bad thing?
Well, not really, because they don't really ever put you into a position where you walk out of a cutscene into a dangerous situation.
Well, that's true. That's probably but that's because, when it gives you control, the game predominantly doesn't have a heads-up display. There's nothing there. It's just blank. It's just a nice, clean screen. Yeah. Unless you aim your gun, then you find out how many bullets you've got in your magazines.
The story it's really... I'm feeling edgy right now because I can't sit down right now and finish it, because I really want to know what's happening, and I've just got to a point where something big's happened, and that's when I turned it off, and I'm like, I can't keep going, because if I keep going, then I won't get off it until it's finished. So right. I kind of left it on a bit of a cliffhanger, and looking forward to finishing it tonight.
Well, let's partially quote one of the legends of the video games of 2014, Ravi Ray Rana. Let's address that elephant in the room, shall we? The length of the game. Red, you haven't got your copy yet, so you probably don't have too much input here. But feel free to ask questions. But Sean, about to go into chapter 13 of 16. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So you're almost there. You've probably got maybe an hour max to go.
Yep.
How long has it taken you to get to where you are?
Probably about 7.5 hours.
Okay, that's fair. With me, I finished the game in the vicinity of it. I didn't have a stopwatch, but just estimating from the sessions that I put into it, I played it in 2 halves. I think it took me about 8 hours. And now my style of gameplay isn't a speed run, and it isn't a dilly-dally either. I'm not looking for everything. So if I see a collectible in the distance, I'll go, oh yeah, I'll go and grab that. If I see one along the way, I'll get it. But I'm not actively hunting for them. That's not how I play. I never play any games like that. I very rarely will specifically sit down to make sure I 100% every level as I go. Because then I feel that takes focus away from the story.
Yep.
And I'm not paying full attention to it because I'm just trying to be a completionist. So I've just played it start to finish, grabbed what I could along the way, in about 8 hours. Now, I mean, that's 2 hours longer than, say, Battlefield 3's campaign.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
about 6 hours.
Call of Duty never really have much longer than that, if anything on par with. Now, a lot of people can argue that, well, Call of Duty and Battlefield, nobody's buying them for the main campaign, or once you finish the main campaign, everyone goes on to the multiplayer anyway and get a lot of more game out of it. But I think we need more games like this. It doesn't need to be a 20-hour-long campaign. Especially now I've played it, I've seen it, I've gone through all of it, I know the story now, I've done everything there is, obviously, other than all the collectibles and things, but I'm very happy with it. Now, I purchased my copy, I got it as a pre-order, which is a pre-order special, so I only paid $60 for it. Most people will be like, oh, I'm not paying $80, $100 for a full, for an 8-hour game. But I'm very happy that I paid the money for this game because, like you said, the storyline is fantastic, the characters are fantastic, the graphics are phenomenal. The gameplay is probably the only thing that is lacking a little bit. But in saying that, the gunplay in it I thought was really good.
Yeah, it's not like a traditional Call of Duty or Battlefield or even Gears of War. It's more of a Gears of War type gameplay when it comes to the guns and stuff. So there's a lot of hiding behind things, and when you're shooting, there's no real auto lock either. So you actually got to do a bit of aiming in it, which is good as well. And the array of weapons, like, wow, there's some really cool weapons in there that you get to use. So yeah.
Yeah, the guns are good, but you'll very quickly find your favourites that you'll want to stick to. I've heard people commenting about the AI in the game, that it's dumb as dog shit. But, I mean, if you're looking for a challenge, don't play it on easy. Play it on hard. If you play this game on hard, it'll be no shorter than, I don't know, maybe 10 hours, 11 hours. You'll get some longevity out of it, unless you're an absolute whiz, which I'm not. But there are some pretty challenging spots in the game.
I'm playing it on easy, and I'm dying a fair bit as well. So just like stupid little mistakes and stuff where you don't realise it's going to go into a quick time event or something like that, and you end up getting shot.
Yeah, but Red, I'm sure you've got plenty of questions. Hit us up, man.
It's been quoted as to be quite a linear experience. True or false?
Yeah, very true.
True.
Yep.
But the question I want to ask about the linear experience, because obviously I've seen a bit of the initial videos that come out probably 2-3 weeks leading up, and they've done a good job to keep pretty tight wraps on it, to be honest. There is a stealth element, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does the game dictate to you that you always have to go into a barrage of gun battles, or can you sometimes select to do the sneaky approach? Or, are you being dictated as to how to play the game nearly 100% of the time? Yeah,
I found that the level makeup and the setups almost was telling you that's how you play in this section.
Yeah.
Especially there were parts where if you were found, it was insta-death. Like if they saw you, an animation would play where you'd get a bullet to the face.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it's pretty dictated there, and it's probably one of the things that people will complain about. But I mean, you can't take pieces from this game. You have to take the whole package.
Well, yeah, and you were just saying like $60 for an 8-hour experience, and it's been hailed as a cinematic experience. Quickly, true or false on your opinion?
Oh yeah, it's very cinematic.
Well, if you broke it down into two-hour sections, you're only paying $15 for a 2-hour segment, and we pay a lot more than that for a movie. So I don't think it's overpriced personally.
No, and you see, look, this game's had a lot of work put into it, and I do believe that this is probably a nice foothold for a sequel to just blow us all away. And I made it. I don't know who I was talking to, but I made was it you? I said the likeness to Uncharted. Their very first Uncharted game was good, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But it paved the way for Uncharted 2, which blew everyone's minds. I believe that whatever follows the Order 1886 will be fantastic. Whether it be the Order 1887, maybe.
The other thing with this as well is that it really gives me hope for the future with what the console's going to pump out. We were talking about this the other day. If they can make it look like this, imagine what 2 or 3 years' time they're going to be pumping out on the PS4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like we were talking and saying that games like God of War, which is like a massive scope of things that are happening, but you're only running through a certain amount of the level. If it is a big cinematic experience like certain areas in God of War and Uncharted when it comes out and the Order 1886, if they are big cinematic experiences, these are going to look phenomenal. They are going to pump out some absolutely amazing games soon.
Yeah, but I just hope that the negative press that this game's received based on it only being X amount of hours long, I hope that doesn't discourage developers from just putting out a standalone game that doesn't have any multiplayer, and it doesn't look like it's going to have any DLC, because once upon a time that's all games were.
Yeah. It doesn't need it. There's no point in tagging a multiplayer on to something just for the sake of tagging a multiplayer onto it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could throw on a completely separate little co-op campaign. I wouldn't say no to something like that. But it doesn't... A game like this shouldn't be ridiculed for what it's doing. It's trying something different, and in my opinion, I think they smashed it. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, and if the main argument that it's the worst thing about it is that it's only 8 hours long, it's really an invalid argument, isn't it? Because everything else in the game kind of really nails it. So,
well, I mean, I don't know, the people making these complaints, do they literally play the campaign and throw the disc away? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's a interesting enough game to go back and try and get the platinum. If you go and get the platinum, you'll get at least, if not double, maybe triple the gameplay time out of it, and you'll be mucking around at the same time. There's replayability to it.
Yeah.
Or this is another thing that I wanted to address is, okay, let's say that the game's too short. Let's go with that argument. All right, it's too short. Does that mean it's a shit game and you shouldn't play it?
No.
I just don't understand where they're coming from. It could be the best game in the world, but it only goes for an hour. Fuck it, that's crap. I'm not getting that.
I think it could be the price point. That's the main argument.
Rent it.
Mm.
Go and rent your game. Jump onto a website that rents your games, or go to a Blockbuster if they're still open these days. I don't know, but rent it. Don't bag it out until you've played it. If you don't want to pay the 60, 70, $80 for it, go and rent it for $10.
Yeah.
If it's so short, surely you'll finish it in the overnight or 3 nights that you get it for. So I just think that it's very childish for people to be just slamming a game that's 5 hours long after somebody speedruns it. I'm claiming speedrun because I didn't finish that game in 5 hours. I got to probably about the 5 hour mark, and I was thinking, how much more is there? And it just kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going. And then I just thought, bloody idiots. These idiots on YouTube saying 5 hours long. It is not even close to the case. Red, did you have more questions?
The real-time events, do they repeat themselves or do they keep them fresh?
Sorry, the quick time, do you mean?
Sorry, yeah, the real quick time.
They're a bit repetitive. It's the same sort of thing, different environment, different foe or whatever, but it's very, very same-ish. Like I said, if there was anything that I would say about it, it'd be the gameplay is like the actual gameplay parts are a bit repetitive, but I liked them. I thought they were good.
And one last one, the cover system works well?
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good actually. Yeah, it's the typical cover things like your Gears of War. You need to get up to that next area. There's going to be a bit of cover there for you to go to, but it's the whole thing. It's like Gears of War. You run from one set of cover to another set of cover. Also, you need to kind of think about which direction you're going to be because your enemies might be coming from one direction and you think you're going to run to the next bit of cover up there, but you run to the next bit of cover up there and they're coming from your left-hand side now instead of straight in front of you and stuff like that.
Those fuckers flank you.
Yeah.
They will flank you if you're not careful, so I found I better fucking keep my distance because if you try to move up, they come around the sides and you get absolutely annihilated. Like, I played it on the normal setting, the medium setting, and I got messed up a few times.
Yeah, I was getting messed up a fair bit in one section, so I just turned it on to easy, and I thought, you know what, I said, I'm not here to be a hero on the run through. I just want to see what the game's like. I want to enjoy playing this. So. Oh
well, there's no difficulty trophy, so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me for this week.
Any other questions, Red?
No, that's cool, man. I'm picking mine up tomorrow, as you know, so the rest I'll probably figure out on my own.
All right, well, we'll get your opinion next week. Go ahead.
I played that $100 cricket game.
How much was it?
$100. Oh, $99.95. It's
$99.95.
Well, it's officially cheaper than Mortal Kombat X by 4 cents. So, got a bargain.
Are they $99.99? Are they?
Yeah.
Rip off.
I always set a standard with Don Bradman here at $99.95, but yeah, Mortal Kombat's got to push it just that bit further. So just the same old broken record, career mode, not getting any runs, spitting it, but still endeavouring to play one 4-day match and one 1-day match a day just to keep it progressing because I've a few other things have tickled my fancy and I've reinstalled on my PlayStation. But the big one for the week is Sleeping Dogs. Wow, I almost went with Watch Dogs because we were talking about it last night. But Sleeping Dogs, I've put 16 hours into it.
Already?
Yeah.
Did you start playing that yesterday?
No. I had a 4-hour long game save from yesterday.
Right, okay. Far out.
So I'd done the tutorial basically and started clearing the map as I usually do when it comes to open world experiences. And as I made comment prior to the show, it's commonly referred to as red mode with the Assassin's Creeds and everything like that. I go around and side missions collect and make sure every single location's been 100% looted before I go on with it. But this game stops you, holds you up and goes, no, right, you do this. And all your side quests or your bloody lend a hand missions or be a cop missions, because essentially you're an undercover cop in Hong Kong. They're all relevant to the time frame upon which you're doing stuff, and the game kicks up a massive gear or two after about the 40% mark. You actually get a weapon, because normally as you know, with Sleeping Dogs, your hands and your feet are your main weapon, and that's really cool. I really enjoy the whole Batman style, self-defense, martial arts style combat, and it's got a real short learning curve. You really get the knack of it, and as your powers grow or you upgrade your abilities, it really doesn't change too much. It's essentially just the power of your attacks that increase. So once you've got it down, you've got it down, and if you do go around collecting the things to upgrade yourself, you just become just a bit more boss. It just doesn't hurt as much. But one thing that I do love about Sleeping Dogs is they've got all these places spattered out across the town that you can eat and drink, different foods and whatnot. And as I was explaining to you last night, you go and you have a pork roll or whatever they call it. You're not a real man unless you like pork rolls. But it gives
Love
you
a pork roll.
about 15 minutes of health regeneration. So it doesn't regen your health there and then, but as you go on and you fight, and if you lose life, it just regens automatically pretty quickly, really. But it's only got a 15-minute lifespan. So once that's done, you look at your life. If you're only half life, you think twice about embarking on your next mission. So you go to a food stand, get a drink, which increases your power, and get something to eat, which gives you food regen. And then there's you can go for a massage. It's wicked. You pay for a massage for these little girls in skimpy outfits outside the massage parlour. And you pay your money and you throw your arm around her and you walk in.
That'd fill up a bar, wouldn't
it? We're talking about bar. It helps you fill up your face bar. So your face bar is essentially the more hits you can put together without being hit and everything like that. Because you're never normally it's never normally 1-on-1. It's normally 1-on-10 sort of thing. And if you can get 20 hits in a combo without taking a hit, you get your face bar fills up, which intimidates everyone around you, but you also get life regen from that as well, and it gives you about a 20-second spurt of extra damage and life regen. So you do get yourself into sticky situations. If you just take a step back, cool it down, throw a few combos together, you can get yourself out pretty quick.
Got yourself in a sticky situation in the massage parlour.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have that hopefully finished by tonight. I'm not embarking on a trophy hunt per se. I'll probably come back to it after the order and whatnot. So I'm going to get that finished tonight. Hopefully I've got about 11 campaign missions to go. And the campaign's pretty cool too. The remastered graphics are evident, and it earns its MA rating. It's actually quite violent. So especially the cutscenes, they really don't hold back. So yeah, because I bought that spur of the moment thing when it first came out, because I went down to Target to get the new 2K NBA game, and it was there for $64, and it looked pretty, and I'd never played it on the PS3, so I thought, yoink, I'll grab that, and played it for about 4 hours over the weekend, put it down, and now I'm back here 3 or 4 months later and really enjoying it and kicking myself. I never actually played it more then, but kudos for me now. A couple of hours of Call of Duty. We done some private matches the other night and had a bit of a fuck ass about. That was a bit of fun to revisit Call of Duty. I think it might have been Friday night because it was double XP weekend. I hear that
it was Friday night. Yep.
Yeah, you used to hear double XP and you go, oh wow, gotta play COD. But even that now is not even enticing. I think we're the 23rd today, 3 days away from the DLC hitting the PlayStation. So by the time you guys are listening to this, the Havoc DLC will be out for Advanced Warfare, and just really want to know what the zombies are like. Take it or leave it when it comes to the extra multiplayer maps. I've nearly done that game to death. I think I have more fun playing death matches with my friends and our lobby as opposed to just jumping in and doing domination after domination. I think I'm not going to invest any more money into it. I was going to, and I was hell bent on it, but after the announcement of the possible Black Ops 3 or whatever the next Treyarch edition of Call of Duty is going to be, and the promise, or the rumoured promise of a zombies staying with them, I think I'll just wait. There's plenty of games to play. We've got Bloodborne coming. Probably about another 180 hours to go on Dragon Age Inquisition. I started that this week after hearing you guys say that it is really cool, but I don't know how it was for you, Luke. My brother, I've been talking to him a little bit, and you hit this point where you actually realise the scope of the game, and it's daunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I keep going, or do I cut my losses now and have a life?
Do you want this to turn into Skyrim? Yes.
So I got, level 11? That was probably 20, 25 hours of game. Because as you said numerous amount of times, Sean, and yourself, Luke, you just find yourself questing and heading out and doing different things. So that has not been put on the back burner, but I've prioritised other games over this week. So, yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Is it doesn't respect your time, does it?
Oh, at all.
No.
I've crawled into bed post 2 a.m. Probably 3 times this week, and 2 of them was due to Dragon Age.
All right. Anything else, Red?
Gummy drop.
Oh, I've got that on my list. Yeah, you wait till I've got what I've got to say about that game. All right. First of all, for my week, I picked up Tomb Raider comics. And it's not a video game directly, but I remember a long time ago, I can't remember what episode it was, we were talking about the comics coming out to bridge the gap between the Tomb Raider reboot and the next installment.
Yep.
What I didn't realise, there are 12 of them out already. So I bought one last night on the Dark Horse app on my iPad, and I've read through it, and I'm hooked. The only thing is I'm torn. I want to read them all, but I thought, you know what, that would be perfect for my flight to Tassie. Because in April, I'll be making a pilgrimage towards Redland. I'll be spending a couple of nights playing video games co-op on the couch with the Red Man. So I'm looking forward to that. But I thought, I might save the Tomb Raider comics for the flight. But I'll definitely want to have a read through those. If you want them, go and get them. They're $2.49 a piece on the app. They're probably double that to buy them in hard copy.
That's very generous, $2.49. Yeah, but that's a good price for a comic book, really.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
And they're good because that leads directly on after the Tomb Raider game, the reboot one. So it's all the familiar characters, a familiar storyline, and it goes on from there. The Order 1886, I played that, obviously. We've already discussed that. Hand of Fate, same story. Dead or Alive, Core Fighters, I played that. That's a free-to-play game that's out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. It might be on PC, I don't know. It's free-to-play if you just want a couple of characters. I think there's a rotation every so often. I don't know how often. I don't know too much about it. But that's fun for a muck-around for me. It was fun to play with you, Red, because I think I think we're in the same ballpark with that type of game. Neither of us are super duper awesome, and we're not horrible, but we're pretty much we do, and I think we're on par because sometimes you won, sometimes I won. Then we played a couple other guys that were really good at it and actually purchased the full version, and they just annihilated us, and just wasn't really fun. It's fun to muck around with your mates if you like those types of games, but as for getting into it seriously, it's not for me. It'll just be a muck around kind of game. I played with you, Sean, too. You're actually really good at that game.
It wasn't
really
too
good.
bad.
Really good at mashing buttons. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Might be because you're a wanker.
Yeah.
I tried Kick and Fennec, the game that Weeksy had a lot of trouble explaining to me what type of game Kick and Fennec is. I had simply described it as a platformer. ... That's it. It's a platformer with and then he said with jumping or something. What did he say when we were talking to him?
Jump, whatever it was. I had no idea what he was trying to tell.
I'm still thinking that falls under platformer.
Me too.
Anyway, so I only played a little bit of that just to see what it was because I was confused by what Weeksy told me. But I don't really have anything more to say. It's just it's a silly little platformer. Trials, again, playing that, just doing times. Sean, you put a thing in the post, in our chat, saying that you beat my Dirt Derby time.
No, it said Red's getting a copy of it, and he needs to beat your Dirt Derby time.
Oh, did I read it wrong?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you wrote that you'd beaten it, and I was going to call you out and call you a liar, but all right, no, I won't do that then. So my time is still safe. Actually, on that note, you didn't get it today?
Look, the postie doesn't come till for another half hour or so here. So
what a lazy fucker! Does he come at 5 o'clock?
Yeah,
lazy down there in Tassie. Anyway, playing Dying Light still, just plugging away at the challenges and the side missions. I think I've done all the side missions now. It's just challenges to go. Ollie Ollie, I gave Ollie Ollie a go. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I said, fuck that game, it's too hard for my stupid brain. I played a little bit more and I'm starting to get the hang of it. It's actually not really that bad. It's a pretty cool game. It's really hard though still. I've started off playing the Walking Dead Telltale series again on the PS4. I'm halfway through the second, episodes. Literally just playing them for the sake of having them played so I can have a platinum trophy out of them. Well, I bought them for my wife, and she hasn't played them yet, so I thought, fuck it. But better not just have them sit there and be a waste. I may as well unlock the trophies. And Red, you told me, get amongst it was your words for Gummy Drop.
Yeah, man.
I downloaded Gummy Drop.
Well done. And
I played Gummy Drop.
played as in past tense.
Yes, well, not playing it right now. That's a fucking stupid game, Red.
Yeah, man.
Not that it's a bad game, like the actual game is fine, but I play it for 2 minutes and then it goes, fuck off or pay me some money. Because I run out of moves.
Try beating a level.
Yeah, well, they do, but like then you run out of moves and you can't play for like half an hour.
Yeah, but did you see? It gives you premium credit as well.
Oh, is that if I then share it on Facebook?
No. Because you can do each level 3 times.
Yeah, it gives you a couple of goes, yeah.
Yeah, it gets progressively harder, but it gives you 10, 40, and then 10, 30, and then 60 coins. So each level's potentially worth 100 coins, which is your premium credit. And you can buy, when it says buy, you're buying it with those coins, not your actual dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, right. And plus, it makes me want to eat lollies.
Yeah, it's self-sufficient. Oh, well, that's a big call. But for me, it's self-sufficient with the premium currency with the at the rate it gives it to you. So. Well,
I'm not writing it off yet. I will keep trying, but it's not very friendly to somebody who's new to it. Because obviously, once you get better, you won't need to because you'll obviously do better combos and things like that. But
yeah, you start to learn what to look for.
Yeah, that's right. But essentially, they've just ripped off Bejeweled.
Candy Crush.
Well, no, fucking Candy Crush ripped off Bejeweled as well. Bejeweled's been around for years.
How good's Bejeweled 2?
Bejeweled 2, yeah, was really good. But that's all it is. It's Bejeweled.
Yeah.
All right. That's about it. That's about my week. We've covered most of the things already. So I'm happy if you are happy for us to move into the news. All right, first up in the news, Kanye West is making a video game.
And it's not a SingStar one.
No.
That's because he can't sing.
That's right.
I saw this was being reported, and I scratched my head and thought, what the fuck? And I watched it was like a 50-minute or an hour-long YouTube video where he had an interview. That guy is the best at talking shit. He can talk about nothing and have people hang off every word. I don't understand it. I was listening to him and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He started talking about Jesus. He started talking about heaven, God, talking about rocks, talking about fucking fingertips. The guy was just, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Weirdest interview. But anyway, not halfway, towards the end of this interview, he starts mentioning one of his latest singles or whatever called Only One. And then he lets out this sort of announcement. Have a listen to this.
And so right now I'm working on a video game for Only One. And the idea is it's my mother going through the gates of heaven. Mm-hmm. And you got to bring her to the highest gates of heaven by holding her to the light. And, we've been working on it for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, look, I'm not taking the piss out of the fact that his mother's passed and all that and the subject matter, but how the fuck is that going to be a video game that's any good?
Yeah, clearly no respawning.
That sounds like somebody with a lot of money going, hey, let's do this for shits and giggles. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I've got so many things, but I won't.
Why would you make that into a video game?
I can just see the trailer for it now. I've actually from the man who kickstarted Paul McCartney's career comes one of the most terrible gaming experiences ever. Self-obsessed Artist Soul Studios in conjunction with I'm Gonna Let You Finish Interactive. That's right, Kanye is making a game. Coming soon to a Go-Low checkout table near you. Only one. I've been thinking about it all day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fucking hell. But look, I've just got this mental image of, like, let's just say large African-American woman walking up these fluffy clouds up to the pearly gates and going, "Hello, I believe you've got a reservation for me." And they say, "Hey, it's Mrs. Kanye." Fuck off.
But I can't believe it. You know, a lot of games, they give you a trophy for achievement just for loading it up. The first one, they go, bing, you died.
Okay, I mean, it's probably a very nice sentiment, you know, something for his dead mother, but do something different. I don't think a video game is the right format for that.
Imagine the trolls on that.
Make a heart rate game.
Oh dear. Make it multiplayer. Make it an online shooter.
It's woeful.
Yeah, it is disgusting. Alright, well anyway, let's move on. Who's got the next news?
Evolve. So it's been out for just over a week now, a week and a half. Nearly 6 million matches have been played on it. And they reckon it's the total time that people have spent playing it is 108 years.
I hate those statistics.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Like, it's a unrealistic figure, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. But,
but in total, the amount of gameplay that's been played.
Well, yeah, but...
There's been 108 years worth of wasted time in the last week and a half.
Yeah, because Destiny had that one that was like 4 times the lifespan of the Earth or something like that has been spent on.
But I mean, that's just an over-exaggerated way of saying how many people played it. Like, the game's been out for, let's just say the game's been, the calculations. How long did it take? Is that over a week?
Yeah.
Let's just say over a week is how many hours? So let's say, just round it off, 170 hours in a week, right? So that's the maximum that could have been played since that it was released. So let's just compound it by the amount, times it by the amount of people that actually played it. It's just an exaggeration. It just makes it sound bigger than it is. I hate that statistic.
Well, you'll love this one. 254 years worth has been watched on Twitch.
Fuck off. Who cares? There's no indication. Stupid. That's like saying if a 10-minute video, if a billion people watch it, has been years of it watched. Fuck off. It's only been on for 10 minutes.
It's all about your life, not everybody else's.
It's all about being realistic. Have you got any statistics that show anything realistically?
There's one game mode.
Yeah.
Would you say no?
One game mode.
Yeah. The hunters have succeeded 48.1% of the time, and 51% of the time the monster has won.
Okay, so it's fairly evenly weighted between the monsters and the people.
Yeah, and they said that 5 million people have tuned in to watch it on Twitch. So
see, that's a bit more realistic.
They're getting big numbers on people actually watching it. So.
And how many copies were sold?
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen those statistics yet.
So it could have been 10 games were sold.
Yeah.
10 people streamed it, but 10 billion people watched it because there was only 10, and they were the only people they could watch, and the statistics are through the roof.
Yeah, well, as they said that there's been nearly 6 million games played, and 5 million people have watched it.
Right. So 6 million
games have been played, but not necessarily been streamed.
That's right. Hang on, let's do a little bit of math here. Let me get my calculator.
Yeah. Yep, it's still a stupid statistic.
Calculator, 6 million. Okay. Now, divided by... How many times do you think you would play a game, let's say you liked it, in a week, like an online game? Would you play it every day?
Yeah. Yeah, when it's new. So, yes, it's relevant.
So,
yeah.
I'll go off me. If it was me, I'd probably play... If it was a multiplayer game, I would maybe play... maybe 3-4 hours straight with mates before I'd sort of tune out. In 3 or 4 hours, roughly, Red, how many games do you reckon you could get into that if they're 10 minutes long?
So we'll round it up to 10-minute games, 15 minutes, 4 to an hour, 4, 16.
So 6, let's divide it by 16. So is that 375,000 people? Get that those lots of 16 games?
Yeah.
That's not a lot of copies.
No, and I think you might have hit a nerve, not with us, like I'm tending to agree, but maybe they're using these stats as opposed to saying, well, this is how much we've made and this is how many copies of an original IP we've sold, because you remember, like with Watch Dogs that come out, newest IP, we sold this many copies, generated this much income. It seems when stats like that come out, they're trying to glorify something. Yeah. It's like, break it down to minutes, make it sound even cooler.
Yeah, it's the better sounding one. It's like saying with Facebook and say, oh, look at this post that we posted up last night. It's got a 600,000 people reach. But how many people liked it? 8. You know what I mean? Like, it just, well, I'll tell you what the reach was, but I won't tell you what the likes were. You know what I mean? It's got
your average stuff here as well in the statistics. So the average match length is 9 minutes 46 seconds, which is kind of disappointing for a match.
That's what any Call of Duty game goes for. It's capped at.
Yeah, only 10 minutes, is it?
Yeah, 5 minutes a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
They said the longest match went for 43 minutes and the shortest match for a minute. But yeah, I don't really think it's going that successful in profit-wise either, because they actually bought it. Take-Two, 2K and Take-Two are the ones that did it, but they bought it from THQ when they went bankrupt. So that was $10.8 million they paid to acquire Evolve off them. So I don't really know, like, what have they got to do? That's just on what they spent on getting the rights for the game, not on actually paying people to finish it off and stuff. Yeah, so
the only reason I'm being critical of it is because I don't see the interest in the game. I can't see it personally, and I think that those statistics probably are a little bit over exaggerated.
And they got all those awards at the E3 and everything.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem to have come to fruition. Weeksy owns it, and he goes, so you finished it, Weeks? He goes, well, yeah, I've installed it, so it's basically finished.
Yeah.
I've felt like this the whole time about Evolve, hence why I never made a real push to try and grab it. I'm going to borrow it off Weeksy because, as I just stated, he's finished it. I'm going to give it a go. But, yeah, look, cool concept, but I think, you're talking about the slaying of the Order lasting 8 hours. Well, essentially that game, if you're each character once for a 10-minute game, you've only got 50 minutes of game. You know, you've got the variables, but it's not really producing anything new every time you go around, in my opinion.
Nice save. All right.
Sony is considering the sale of its unprofitable TV and smartphone division.
Good idea.
Yes. They claim they want to put the money into stuff that's actually bolstering their business, namely being PlayStation and PlayStation Plus.
That's it.
As a result, the changes could yield an expected 25-fold profit boost by 2018.
Yeah, I think they should fuck off the tellies. That's a waste of time.
Yep.
I think most people that I know have either an LG or a Samsung TV. And I don't know anybody that have a Sony Xperia mobile phone. I'm actually impressed that I was able to take the word Xperia from my brain because I don't really hear it that often.
Yeah, no, cool. But that's good. You know, if they're making money, then they're pumping the money back into PS Plus and PlayStation, that might get a little cheaper, or we might get a AAA title every 6 months instead of 12. So. Yeah,
it'll mean good things for PS Plus and for Sony.
Well, they had those troubles for the last couple of years making money and everything, and the gamers have kept them afloat.
Yeah. All right, that's good. I think that'll be a good move for them. All right, my next piece of news is I find quite humorous. PlayStation 4's SharePlay got used for trolling. Have you guys heard about this one?
Yeah, I've got the news article here.
All right. Now, for those that don't know what SharePlay is, it's basically if I'm playing online and Red, my good friend, is in a chat party with me, and I'm playing a single-player game, and I'm thinking, I'm stuck. I can't get past this boss. Man, Red, can you give me a hand? You set the SharePlay to allow Red control over my game. And then essentially what it does is it mirrors my screen onto Red's screen and gives him control through his DualShock control wherever he is in the world, as long as his internet is 1 billion megabits a second.
Yeah.
So then Red can play up to an hour before it kicks him out, and then we have to re-establish the connection. But he essentially has full control of my game. Now, this has always been recommended that you only ever allow this from trusted friends and things like that. Now, what happened to this one kid who was streaming, I think his PSN username was Cuckoo Knight.
Yeah.
He was playing Destiny and he was streaming at the time. 2 viewers approached him and said, hey, you've got a level 23 character. There's a SharePlay glitch that we can show you, which will immediately rocket you to level 32, which is the level cap for Destiny. And he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, I'll give you control. Now, he didn't know who these people were, and they promised him... Sorry?
Kermit the Frog was his name.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
And he's given full control to this person that he doesn't know to do this glitch for him. Now, he's walked away from his PlayStation because, if you don't know, if you're in SharePlay, as soon as you press the PlayStation button on your controller, it immediately removes control from the other person. But if this guy was away from the screen, he wouldn't have been able to do that because he wouldn't have been noticing it. But what this Kermit the Frog person had done, as soon as he got control of Cuckoo's Destiny game, he's gone straight to the main menu and deleted his character. Level 23, that could be anywhere from 12 to 20 hours worth of a character. You know, who knows however many raids and things like that. Oh, you probably wouldn't be high enough for a raid, but deleted his character. So everything was gone. That's start from scratch. New character, new campaign, new everything, no gear, nothing. What do you guys reckon? Serves himself right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. To a stranger, yes.
I would... No, fair enough, he was tricked. But that's it. You were trying to cheat. Serves yourself right. You should have just earned your way up to 32. I know it's tempting. Sometimes we've all been tempted to try these little glitches and things like that. But, I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been actual monetary things where people trick people into, putting money into bank accounts. This was more of a... not so much a harmless troll, but nobody lost money, nobody got physically hurt, so I guess it's not that bad. But far out, man, I would flip chips if that happened to me.
Yeah, and Bungie have gone on to say that they're going to try and, or don't share play with people you don't know. They're not actually going to try and restore his character from the sounds of things, but they're going to try and make it a little less permanent. The whole deletion of a character, so you might be able to go in, send your license, your birth certificate, and your firstborn child, and you get your character back. So,
or maybe just a recycling bin. Imagine that poor little Titan in there. Oh, you sure you don't want me anymore?
My bubble.
Fuck your bubble.
But yeah, so you heard it here. Don't share play with strangers.
That's
or
right.
me, because I've now got a good idea.
As if your internet's fast enough, Red.
We couldn't even share play Pac-Man or Tetris, I don't reckon.
We couldn't share play shit. Alright, Sean, what news have you got?
New update is coming to Diablo 3.
Cool, what do we got?
So, a heap of new things. So, new improved sets for your armor and stuff like that. Legendary powers. There's an update. Now, the next ones that I've I'm really looking forward to are the adventure mode updates. So endgame content. There's going to be new Rift layouts. So a lot of the time when you're playing the Rifts, it's exactly the same area and all that kind of stuff. So Fields of Misery, Festering Woods in Act 1, Stinging Winds from Act 2, and the Fields of Slaughter from Act 3, they're actually going to randomise the layouts of the Rifts now. So the map will look completely different, and it's randomised for when you go into the Rifts from now on. So mixing it up a bit, which is a really good thing. So new bounties are coming. So
as you get your trophy.
Yeah, because I haven't done enough of them already. There's a new bounty type, which is exploration, that involves exploring the area and finding people that need to be rescued or killing people if they're bad guys and stuff. Yeah, they said that you'll see 14 different types of 14 of these bounties across the whole game. So once again, they're randomised as well as to what bounties you get when you open it up in adventure mode. There's a few class update, new treasure goblins to chase around. So there's a gelatinous sire, which splits into smaller goblins. So I'm guessing as you hit and kill him, he splits off into littler ones that you've then got to chase around. The Gilded Baron, he's a gold one, so it just looks like he'll be just spitting out massive amounts of gold when you kill him. And the Insufferable Miscreant, and he's got little friends that run around with him as interference. So yeah, that's coming very soon. So that's just a preview of what'll be coming. They'll soon be in Diablo 3.
Another patch that is not. Cost? Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not DLC. Yeah.
Yeah, another patch that is not DLC and doesn't cost a thing.
Yeah, there we go. So we're about to hit the same nail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's good.
And they're also testing microtransactions in Asia for Diablo 3 as well. So they got like a new currency called Platinum, and you can buy things like timed experience boosts, cosmetic items, so like the Wings of Valor that you got as a pre-order bonus, combat pets, and character portraits. Yeah, so they're not coming to Americas or Europe or us as yet, but they're trialling that in Asia. Is that something that you'd even look at?
Nah, they can keep that.
Yeah.
No.
Game doesn't need it.
No.
Not at all. Not with these updates, the new goblins, the different rifts, the amulets and the rings that we went searching the key wardens for. They just keep pumping out stuff.
And not to mention that apprentice mode on the console.
Yeah.
They don't really need it. XP boost.
It's just another reason for the Koreans to sell their children.
That's it. Get rid of them. Cook them up.
Oh.
Red, what do you got?
So in Australia, we're leading the way. Australia Wii U software and hardware sales up nearly 170% year on year. So is that tax year or is that January to December?
No, I don't know if they've got a completely different year for video games.
D3. Oh, hang on a sec. Shit. Just read your shit. The data covers the October to December period.
Yeah, see, I thought it was a different monthage from everything else that was normal.
Yeah, so in Australia here, we're buying up more Wii U's than the rest of the world.
Yeah, they've got some good games out now.
And the sales were up 200% year on year over all regions, October to December.
Yeah, but
well, they had to come on the back of like Smash Brothers and the new Zelda that's coming out soon.
You think
Mario Kart.
All in all, it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for Nintendo. Good on them. Powering ahead. I haven't turned my Wii U on since the 12-hour stream. It's a shame. Oh well.
I've just got one more, which is TwitchCon.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
So this year, Twitch is actually having a convention like an E3, if you will, or a BlizzCon, but yeah, it's September 25 and 26 in San Francisco. They're going to have a whole heap of broadcasters, game developers there for a convention on Twitch.
I thought you were going to say that nobody's actually going to be there. It's just all going to be streamed from somewhere else.
Yeah.
No,
why am I paying $500 for a ticket when I can just sit at home and watch it?
Because I prefer to watch PewDiePie than look at him.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah. Technicality. I love watching and smelling.
Yuck. Is that good? Is that cool?
No.
No.
I'm with all the good news pieces this week.
What?
I've got all the good news pieces this week.
Oh.
Shit statistics and crappy conventions.
Oh, poor Sean. It's nothing against you.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it is. I got something better. Yeah.
Would you, if it was next door to your house, would you go?
That'd involve me going outside my house.
That would involve putting on pants.
Yes.
Like,
No, in all seriousness, if it was like at the home bush where the EB Expo is, would you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Just to see what it's like. I mean, you know, if you can meet some famous streamers. Not that I really subscribe to any famous streamers. I'd still, if I had the chance, I would, absolutely.
Worst case scenario, if I can pack out, at least you get a free grove.
Yeah. The only thing is that, like most conventions like that, I don't think they'll let you in if you've had a shower within the last 24 hours.
It's standing at the door. Have you ever had sex before? Yes. Go away.
Oh, wait. When was the last time you bathed? This morning? Get out.
Give me your hands. And you have a look at your hands, and if you don't have Dorito stains on it, you're not allowed in.
When was the last time you bathed? You're in.
You had to think about it. Hang on a minute. You're well shaven. You don't have a neck beard. Get out.
My chin's got beards.
Oh, dear. That's like Gamist or something, isn't it?
Gamist.
I've not heard of that.
I don't know. Is there a term for that when you, like, being... What's the word? Like racist or sexist, but gamist.
Ah, I get you. I'm there. Yes.
What do you think I was talking about?
Oh, no. I thought it was an offer. I thought you said gayness.
Oh, gayness. No, I told you we wouldn't refer... No, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, we've bashed on Kanye now. Fuck.
Yeah, we're not talking about Kanye's mum anymore.
I'll round out the news with my last piece. If you'd like to have your opinions on the greater question that I'll ask at the end, then feel free. Nordic Games has confirmed that Darksiders 2 will get a new gen edition. So you played Darksiders 1 or 2 on the 360 or the PS3?
PC.
Or PC, there you go. So obviously it was THQs. We talked about a lot of games today that have been bought out when THQ went down, being Sleeping Dogs, this, and Evolve. So obviously they had a lot of good ideas. But so the new edition, the rumours for the new edition first surfaced a couple of days ago when Amazon posted a listing, you know, and a lot of stuff that Amazon have posted a listing to have almost pretty much come to fruition. But are we starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel for remasters?
Yes, it's not necessary. This game came out in 2012.
Yeah.
I'd prefer a Darksiders 3.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This could lead up to a Darksiders 3, who knows, but
it's been and gone. Like, if you haven't played this game, it's not like you're going to purposely go out and get it for the next gen.
Because not to be hypocritical, obviously I've got Last of Us and I've got Sleeping Dogs and whatnot. I don't mind the old remasters when I haven't played them.
But they're not old remasters.
No, they're not either.
But you know what I think would be a good idea is use it as a marketing tool. Okay, don't put too much money into remaking them or remastering them. Just port them over to the next gen.
Yeah, and charge $35.
Charge a reasonable amount for
$20
for both of them. I'd be happy with $20 for both of them, and then 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, the third one would come out.
Yeah.
So it'll get you, for all those people that never played the first two, can catch up with something on current generation, and then it sets them up for a very what's the word I want for
highly anticipated, or
it's a you know what I'm talking about, whatever.
Yeah. Try and build some hype for number 3. Probably also get some collateral up for number 3.
Yeah, and then it'll make them a little bit of dollars too.
Yeah. So, well, the PS3 done it well. with the PlayStation 1 classics. You know, you boot up bloody Final Fantasy 7 and it was just that. It was a port from the PS1.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. It doesn't have to be 60 frames, 1080 for me to play a game, obviously, because we don't get that anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so Sean, you're affirmative. What do you reckon about the remastered Luke? You happy for him to keep flowing out, or you?
I'm happy for him to keep coming out.
Yeah,
They'd need to be a little bit more reasonable with their pricing, though.
exactly.
The game you were talking about earlier, Sleeping Dogs, overpriced. I paid $6 for it on PC a year ago, longer than a year ago.
Yeah, the only thing that saves that is because it's definitive. It's got 2 bits of DLC, two DLC content packs, and it's got everything.
So I'll spend an extra $7.
Fair call,
But
I'd never played it either.
A full retail price for that game, I think, was always too much.
Yeah,
I think it should have been $30.
They'd sell a lot more.
They'd sell a lot more, and people would probably be happy. But anyway, is what it is. Well,
I've got one more little piece of news as well.
Yep.
That Bethesda is actually going to be doing a presentation at E3 this year.
Yeah.
So they're not traditionally a company that does a presentation at E3, but really excited for what possibly could be coming from this. So we all know that there's a new Doom game coming out, so hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of that during their presentation. But the big word out there is that it's maybe a Fallout 4.
Oh, you'd imagine that'd be in the works.
So
right?
Fallout 4, well, what I'd like to see personally, Fallout 4, a new Elder Scrolls, which isn't the online. But then again, they've got so many other big titles that they could put another one to. Quake. Yeah. Imagine bringing out a next-gen Quake. That'd be absolutely phenomenal. And then they've got the other games like Rage. That was a bit of a flop for them. But the other one as well, that Dishonored 2, perhaps. So, yeah.
I reckon it'd be Dishonored 2 or Fallout 4 at E3.
Yeah.
And QuakeCon, you'll get all your Doom stuff.
Yeah.
As a guess.
Mm.
Because Doom's got to be due soon.
Yeah, well,
because I'll plug in the beta for that
for
with the release. They plugged the beta with the release of Wolfenstein.
Yeah, and that's still not come about yet. The beta for that.
No, I know. No, hopefully our codes still work with our PSN IDs, and we do get it once it's dropped. But but the best thing they did was they never come out and they never said a release date or a release window or a quarter or anything like that. They've just kept it under wraps. So yeah, hopefully Fallout 4. I'd be just as happy with the Dishonored 2 because they'll probably remaster number 1.
All right. Look, I'm not really interested in any of those games, so fucking don't care.
Not a Doom?
You would be interested in Doom or Fallout, considering how much you enjoyed the side quests and the total package that's going right.
Yeah, I don't. It's not because I think that I won't like the games. I've just never had an interest in them.
Copy that.
So not really following it. If it comes out and I like it, I like it. If not, whatever. All right, let's move on. We've finished news now. All right, well, this is the moment that quite a few people have been waiting for. We're going to announce the winner for the Order 1886 competition. So everybody that liked and shared our post is now sitting comfortably inside this little box. Their names are on a piece of paper. Now, as promised, all of those that did post selfies of themselves holding the Aussie Gamers Express logo, well, themselves or some little stand-in figurine, have had their extra 2 entries, so they'll have 3 entries in total. So those people will be Daniel Crosby, Bianca, XCOM Lewis. Red, you failed because you didn't have the logo in your selfie.
Very
all. Mark Harvey will have 3 entries, Pat Clifford and Aidan Stewart. So I agree with, I think it was Aidan that said, I don't know why anybody else isn't doing this. You're tripling your chance at winning a free game. And especially one that people are complaining about the length and price with. It's free. That way it won't actually matter. So anyway, everybody is in this box now, and I'm shaking it up. Keep it fair. Okay. Mind you, this is the same box that we did the last raffle in for Watch Dogs, I think it was.
Yeah.
All right, well, I've got a winner in my hand now. So I will unfold it.
Can you do the drum beat?
I've got my speech ready.
Well, for a bit of, suspense, I must add that it would have been a very good idea for people to chuck their selfies up and get the extra entries, because it is actually one of those people with the extra entries.
Yay. Thank you for support, guys.
Yes, thank you very much to everyone. We had about 60 shares and almost the same likes. It was pretty good, actually. We'll have to do this again. But look, without further ado, the winner of a copy of the Order 1886 is Bianca XCOM Lewis.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
Congratulations.
yes, congratulations to you. Now, there is one final catch before you can have this game. You have to be listening to this episode to know that you're the winner, and then just send us a message with your postal address, and we'll send it out to you. That's it. It's as simple as that. All you needed to do was like the post and share it and all that jazz. So, yeah, it just goes to show those extra entries came in handy, because she was one of the ones that scored it. All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much to everyone for entering into that, and we'll have a bit of a think of what we'll give away next. And until next time, thank you very much. Did you have a speech, Red, or was that a joke?
For when I won.
Oh, for when you won. You know what? Believe it or not, you were actually in here.
Oh, really?
Yes. So was I, and so was Sean. But what I was going to do, like we did last time, if we drew out one of our names, I was going to give away a little extra surprise to the person who actually won. It was going to be like a redraw. All right. Just a quick rule. If Bianca XCOM Lewis does not contact the Aussie Gamers Express page by the following week, so by Sunday the 8th of March, then it will be a redraw. Okay, so I assume it's a she needs to contact us within that week. If she does not, we'll be redrawing it next week. Okay, and that's it. Well, thanks a lot, everyone. We'll move on to What's That Sound?
It's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
All right, last week, I believe that was moi that got the correct What's That Sound, being Mass Effect.
It's a fight we can't win, not without help. We need every species and all their ships to even have a chance at defeating the Reapers. Talk to the Council.
We got a fair few people picking that one, sending through their answers. Now, it is early in the week during recording right now. When you're listening to this, we will have a winner. Without further ado, let's have a listen to the new one for this week. See if I don't know, maybe Red, you might have this one. It's up in the air, could be either of yours. Let's have a listen.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
There you go. Did you guys hear that all right?
Yeah, stay a while, stay forever.
Yes. Is it ringing any bells for you?
Yeah. Just obviously not the right ones, because I haven't gone, hola!
Ah, they know what it is. All right, having a listen.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Oh, I'm going to go, when you tell me. Can't rain, man.
It just sounds really old to me, but it's, I don't know, like Prince of Persia.
No, I don't think those old Prince of Persia games had actual voice, did they?
I'm not sure, but it sounds like it'd be something from that generation, like old Commodore kind of game, Amiga game.
No idea?
No idea.
All right, if anybody listening thinks they know what that sound is, then please send your answers to Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page. Just send us a private message saying this is what I think this week's sound is, and any time during the week, so from the Sunday that the game is, that the podcast is released, till the Saturday before the next podcast is released, you can get your answers in at some stage then, and you'll have a chance to win a free game. Now, you'll know what it was?
Yeah.
Do you remember the game? Oh, sorry, go Red.
Before?
Did you just Google it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, I do remember the game too. Shit, I used to play some comp.
Yeah. I loved that game. It was really cool. It's hard. Very hard.
As all of them nearly were.
That's right. No saves.
What's a save game?
Yeah, that's
What's a respawn?
But mind you, most of those games, like those older games, you could finish them in half an hour.
Yeah,
it's just that they were so brutally hard and you'd have to restart all the time that it felt like they were like fucking 10 years long. I like that game, Another World. I could have sworn that game, it was so big when I was a kid and I could never get anywhere. I bought the remastered version of it, the 20th anniversary or whatever it was. It took me 20 minutes. 20 minutes and I finished the game.
Attention span is much greater now too.
Oh, and mind you, you can save it now. So you don't have to, if you die, you're not going back to the beginning.
Oh, okay. Checkpoint action.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. That's the show.
Now that we're at the end of this week's show, please take the time to like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/AussieGamers2012. If you tweet your life away on a daily basis, follow at AussieGamers12 for all of your tweet action. If you like Twitch and watching people and couldn't be bothered going to the convention, come on over to Aussie Gamers TV at twitch.tv and have a look. We have a blog, aussiegamersexpress.blogspot.com.au, YouTube channel, Aussie Gamers Express, search it there. Search everywhere for Aussie Gamers Express, that's including Stitcher, TuneIn Radio and iTunes to download this podcast directly to the device of your choice if you like snail mail and sending things through post. Even if the postman doesn't come to your house every day like Red, then go to P.O Box 130 Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749. Don't go there. I keep on saying it all the time. Do not go there because it's just at a post office. Post stuff to P.O Box 130 Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749. And that is it.
Awesome. Hey, Red, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, man.
You going to check the letterbox?
I can.
Are you mobile? Can you take us with you?
Yeah.
Let's go. He's just screwed up. Take a lifeline. Oh. Jesus.
That's a gate. Oh, there's a big white thing sticking out of it.
Oh, surprise! Windy in Tasmania.
Yeah, man. Oh, panting and man boobs flapping. Oh, from the... Yeah, man, it's here!
Hey!
Wicked!
Oh, guess what we're playing tonight?
You wicked. Sleeping Dogs?
No.
Nah. I'm gonna have a go. Get my eye back in.
Trials Fusion. Oh, right.
Thank you so
Jeez, that is windy.
Yeah.
What'd you fart?
No, we've got some woolly weather down here at the moment.
Oh, lovely. It's fucking sweltering in this little hot box that I'm doing in at the moment. I'm going to go and have a shower. I'm all yucky. All right, well, that's excellent. You've got Trials to play. I'm very excited for that. And?
I said thanks, man.
Oh, I thought you said and. Sorry, I cut you off because, blah, blah, because internet. I've been LewkOne.
I've been Thorncliff.
I've been Red.